Hello, my name's Films Review, and today we will be reviewing Lord of the Rings characters from super to trash. So let's get started. Okay, so first up we have Aragorn. I don't know how you can't like Aragorn. He's a really good fighter, part of the Fellowship, and overall he's one of the few people who carries the whole trilogy. So I'm gonna put him at awesome. Okay, next up we have Arwen. Loki kind of baddie. She was alright. Didn't have many scenes. Obviously, Aragon loved her and all, but I'm gonna put her at mid. Next up, we have whatever this beast is called. I'm not really sure what his name is, but he's cool, but he also pretty much killed Gandalf, so I'm gonna put him also at mid tier. Next up, we have whoever this guy is. I have no clue who this guy is. I don't know what his name, and I don't know what movie he was in, but he looks like a man, so I'm gonna put him at C. Next up, we have Bilbo. Bilbo, in my opinion, this is just including the Lord of the Rings. I'm not going into the Hobbit. Just in the Lord of the Rings, Bilbo was kind of weird. Um, he acted weird. The ring obviously did stuff to him, so I'm gonna put him at B. What the hell is this horse? Where is this horse from? Who is this horse? I don't know. I guess the horse is pretty cool, but I don't know what this is, so I'm just gonna put it here. Okay, next up we have Boromir. Obviously, Boromir was part of the Fellowship, so how can you hate him? But at the same time, in the Fellowship, it obviously showed him being kind of weak, uh, chasing after the ring, and then eventually gets killed by an orc. But he dies in a heroic way, so I'm gonna put
One does
him
not simply walk into
B.
Mordor.
He's not with Aragorn, so put him at B. Next up, we have Aragon's horse. I don't know what's with it in these horses, but I guess Aragon's horse just has aura, so I'm gonna put him at B. Next up, we have this random elvish dude. I have no idea who this guy is. I think he was the person that introduced them to that one forest, but correct me if I'm wrong. I don't care about this guy. Next up, we have this guy who was Gollum's old friend, you could say, and then eventually Gollum stole the ring from this guy. But honestly, this guy was kind of weird, kind of creeped me out. Looked weird, so I'm gonna put him here. Next up, we have this guy. I believe his name was Denethor Second. I'm not exactly sure. His name wasn't really portrayed in the movies, but again, this guy's he calls himself not king, but he really was the king at the time, and he was a hated king. After all, he almost burned his son alive. So honestly, I don't really, and he's also pretty selfish, so I'm gonna put him also here. Okay, next up we have Elrond. I don't know how you can, I don't know how you can hate this guy. Elrond obviously pretty much clutched up everything in the movies, saved all the elvish people, and helped the whole fellowship. So if you have someone to cheer for, it would be this guy right here. So this guy is going straight up for super. And if you haven't watched Rings of Power, I'd go watch it because even in Rings of Power, this man is him. Next up, we have I don't know how to pronounce this exactly, but Aelmir, I think. The son of this guy, I believe. Um, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the son. But anyways, this guy again didn't really have many roles in Lord of the Rings. Pretty Chad guy. Great fighter. Um, but overall, I'm gonna put him at B. Next up, we have Eowyn. Eowyn again. I really don't know how to pronounce some of these names. I believe that's her face is hidden. I didn't like her. I know her soup was terrible. The soup she made for um, Aragon. So terrible cook. And as well, she's just, I don't know, she seems to be like a bother, if anything. So I'm gonna put her C. Next up, we have Faramir. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Obviously, he was the son that this guy didn't want. But overall, I preferred this guy more. He died very heroically, also very pretty sadly. Um, he let Bilbo, or sorry, not Bilbo. Oh, what's it? Frodo and Samwise. Uh, he let them go, which I thought was very heroically of him. So next up, we have whoever this guy is. He looks like he's a hobbit. Uh, maybe not. I'm not sure. I don't like the way he looks, so I'm gonna put him trash. Next up, we have the guy himself, Mr. Frodo Baggins. Again, part of the Fellowship. How can you hate him? He carried the whole trilogy. He was the guy who saved the day. Went through a journey, went from a small guy to a big guy, and you saw his whole journey, which he truly changed throughout that journey into a greater man. So
For
I'm gonna put him
Frodo.
at S. Next up, we have Galadriel. Galadriel wasn't portrayed much in the Lord of the Rings series, but obviously in The Hobbit and in The Rings of Power, she is one of the main characters. But even in The Lord of the Rings, I know she speaks with Frodo and gives him this little source of light, which ends up saving him in the spider cave. So overall, she's chill. She's looking over Frodo. She's probably the reason why Frodo got to where he got. So I'm gonna put her at. Again, I'd have next person. I have no idea who the hell this guy is. Like some random people on these lists. So I'm just gonna put him at C. Next up, we have Gandalf. Gandalf, in my opinion, is the best character in the Lord of the Rings series. He's just a chill wizard. Like, I don't think it's possible for you to hate him. You love him, and that's it. There is no hate for Gandalf. I
Pluck,
mean,
you fools!
he is that guy. Next up, we have Gimli. Again, how can you hate Gimli? He's part of the Fellowship. He has a great sense of humor, especially with his friend Legolas. And the journey between the two, liking each other and becoming friends over time, was a great journey. And so I'm gonna put him up here in the A. Next up, we have Gollum. Gollum had one of the most interesting stories, but at the same time, he's the most ugliest, disturbing creature I've ever seen in my life. And honestly, as a child, this guy, I used to have nightmares of this guy as a child. So this guy's going in the trash. Although he had a great story, I hate him. Next up, we have this orc. This orc, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong again, but I believe this orc was the orc that was about to torture Frodo in that tower. Um, Again, not much, not many scenes, but I think he was the one who ended up getting thrown down the tower and started a whole civil war. And because of that, I'll put him at C. Next up, we have this orc general. I forget what battle he was in. I think maybe Gondor. Yeah, Gondor, I think. Anyways, I remember him getting memorable scene of him dying from a boulder, which was fun. Again, one of the most random generals, I think, but ugly looking. Don't really like him. Next up, we have this guy, which I believe is Grima Wormtongue. Grima. Again, I don't know how to pronounce his names, but I don't think anybody like this guy. This guy's weird. This guy's ugly. Completely manipulated the King of Gondor. Gondor. I don't know. Rohan. I don't know. One of the kings. And because of that, no one likes him. Just an ugly looking creature. Trash. Next up, we have this orc. I believe this orc was threatening to eat Pippin and Merry. Uh, I think this was the orc that chased them into the forest, which is kind of weird. Again, also kind of a disturbing scene. Um, how can you like that orc? That's kind of disgusting. So trash. Next up, we have these eagles. These eagles are a sign of peace. These eagles saved both Frodo and Samwell from death, from the lava. Uh, you see them in The Hobbit. So overall, they're cool little big eagles. How can you hate them? So not with A. Fortunately, I forget this guy's name. I remember he was an Elvish uh, general at Battle of Gondor. I think it's Gondor again. I'm not sure. My memory on Lord of the Rings is a bit messed, but this guy, I think I remember him getting an arrow to the head or something. His death was kind of sad. Um, but overall, again, not many scenes, kind of irrelevant. But B. Next up, we have whoever this fat pig is. I don't know who this guy is again. Um, on everybody's soul, I don't remember this guy being in any scenes, and I don't know why. So I'm just gonna put him here. Okay, seriously, who are these people? Like, uh, she looks like she may. I have no idea who this guy is again. Um, I don't know. I'm just gonna put him with C again. Looks like a chill old dude. Okay, next guy is a guy that looks like to be from the Bree in the Shire. Um, again, I don't know who this guy is. I think this guy was the guy at the front of the gate. Again, very little scenes. Don't really care. He's kind of creepy, so I'm gonna put him here. Next up, we also have Legolas. Legolas was an amazing character, the best Elvish character, I think. Crazy at fighting. Great relationship between every single Fellowship member, and as well in The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Um, Overall, this guy is just he is him,
They're
just with
taking the
these three
hobbits
as
to
well.
Isengard!
So put him up here. Next up, we have Merry. Merry was all right to me. I preferred Pippin from Merry. I don't know. Merry was just kind of this random guy. I know that may anger some people watching this video, but honestly, Mary was kind of a B tier. Next up, we have this random looking orc ugly thing. Again, I don't know where this guy's from, um, but this guy's ugly as hell, so we'll put him here. Next up, we have whoever this Hobbiton is. Not exactly sure. Again, I think she's just some random side character. Maybe the wife to this guy. Um, Again, I think these these two people were both giving them ugly looks when they returned. Um, as I mean, Frodo and Samwell and Pippin and Merry both returned from their journey. So I'm gonna put honestly, I'm gonna put them in trash. I didn't like them. Next up, we got Pippin. I love Pippin's story. I think Pippin had a great journey, and I preferred him again. Well, I think I said this earlier, but I preferred him from Merry. Uh, I think Pippin was just had a greater sense of humor, contributed more to the story, and so for that, I'm going to put him with the A tier. Next up, we have Samwise's wife, Loki baddie, so I'm going to put her B. Next up, we have Samwise Genji himself. Again, this guy got Frodo to the finish line. If it was not for this guy right here, Frodo would have never even got close to throwing that ring in the volcano. So because of that, Samwise he wasn't even meant to go on the journey, but he ended up going anyways, and because of that, and he got him there, fully supported him, was his backup. For that, I'm gonna put him with the S tier. Next up, we got Saruman. Saruman's death was really sad, especially when all the trees come together and basically take him down. Saruman was the ultimate betrayer. He's the first white wizard, but I don't know how a white wizard can go from being that good to being that evil. Um, and honestly, I wish I knew more about his story, but yeah, I really good story, but no one likes him, so next up, we got Sauron, which I believe is Sauron. Again, everything is based around Sauron, the whole show. Sauron trying to come back, and he's part of the Eye. Again, the whole story relies around him. Uh, Most powerful dude in the series. So put him at S. Again, with these horses need to go, man.
A horse is here.
But I believe this is Gandalf's horse, Gandalf the White's horse. Fastest horse, I think. I'm not sure. Pretty cool when Gandalf just whistled and this guy came galloping to Gandalf. Majestic scene, by the way. So I'm gonna put him at B. Now, hot take, I actually like this orc. Although the orc was, again, he's an orc, you can't like orcs. But this orc kind of protected both Pippin and Merry from being eaten from, who was it? This guy here. And he was really true to sticking to the mission, which I kind of respect. So I'm gonna put him high C. Next up, we have this spider thingy. This spider, massive spider. And you know what else is massive?
Naughty
Never mind.
perfect.
But yeah, this spider was disgusting, traumatized me as a kid. Had a big, pointy stinger, which, again, he put that into Frodo, which is also kind of a disturbing scene. Um, but again, Samwell comes to save the day and kills this little beast. As to how he did that, I don't know, but again, Sam is a G for that. But overall, this spider was cool, so I'm gonna put him at low B. Next up, we have this ghost army. The ghost army's leader. Honestly, they were the most overpowered thing I've seen in Lord of the Rings. In the whole series, including Hobbit, I've never seen such an OP thing. They can't be killed, and they just came out of a cave and destroyed the whole orc army. Like, what other army can do that? And so because of that, I'm gonna put them at right there. Next up, we have the ring. Honestly, this ring had a kind of a cool story. The ring went from being kind of cool to being kind of, you see the true evil of the ring. But the ring again was everything to the story. They're trying to get rid of the ring, but the ring is trying to stay alive and it's trying to call out to its host, saying, "Don't you dare throw me in that lava pit. You're gonna keep me. You're gonna love me," which I think was a cool idea for the ring. Um, so I'm gonna put that A. Next up, we have these flying. I don't know what these, but I remember they're dead kings, I believe. They're flying. They're trying to search for the ring. That's their main objective. Um, Again, these things are creepy. They're just kind of bothersome for both Frodo and Samwell. But again, they are kind of aura. Not gonna lie. Again, I think these guys were the guys to stab Frodo, almost ending the mission from the very beginning. So because of that, I'm gonna put them high C. Next up, we have Theoden, I believe that's how you pronounce it, King of Rohan. Um, this guy was cool, man. I mean, how can you hate him? He was a great leader. Obviously, his transformation being uh, a selfish, ugly man controlled by Saruman, I believe. Um, you really saw his great side. He is a great leader and great contributor to the victory of, I think, two battles. Again, I don't know what those battles are called, but great battles. So I'm gonna put him low A. Next up, we have whoever the hell this guy is. I don't know. Who is this guy? Who are you? Huh? Who are you? Um, I literally have no clue who this guy is. Never seen him. Must be the most irrelevant guy ever. Uh, honestly, the way he's just looking at me right now, I don't like it. Like, well, why are you looking at me like that? So, trash. Next up, we have the Brown Wizard. Uh, the nature wizard, you could say. I think he was the guy who called the Eagles to save both Frodo um, and Samwell, as well in The Hobbit. Mad clutch. This guy's a mad clutch. Honestly, underestimated wizard. Um, really chill guy. Like him, although he's kind of weird. Having bird poop in your or in your hair, that's just not normal. So put him mid B. Next up, we have the tree. This tree I don't like. I don't know why. He's just did not hear out uh Merry and Pippin at all. He just went straight to assuming that they're orcs, which I kind of don't like that. But I guess in the end, he did hear them out, and he did perform some action towards Sourman when they all attacked the tower. So I guess I'll put him mid B. And then of course the final orc, and of course I don't know who this guy is. I remember this guy, some kind of general or leader. Uh, again, I don't know who this guy is, but ugly looking creature, mid trash, just yeah, right there. Okay, well, that's that. Thank you for watching, and this has been Films Review ranking Lord of the Rings characters from super to trash. And I think this list is pretty fair. Again, there's a lot of people who I didn't know what their names were or who they were, what scenes they were. We had a lot of horses as well, which is weird. But overall, I enjoyed this list. I think it's fun. And let me know in the comments if you think this list should be changed or if you think differently. So, anyways, see ya.